Welcome everyone, my name is Mike Martin. We are broadcasting live on Casio's Facebook and YouTube channels to bring you some new product information, and we have one heck of a new product to show you today. I'm joined as always with my counterpart 890 miles to my east. Welcome to the broadcast. Rich, how you doing today?
Hey Mike, doing pretty well. Hi everybody, thank you very much for joining us today. This is going to be a good one.
It absolutely is. So I think you might have already seen some of the information. It's been coming out all day long today. So we're here to answer your questions, give you some in-person demos, and I guess we'll take it where it goes based on your questions. So we are watching the Facebook and live chats. I love the comments here. Casiotone for life. I love it, love it, love it, love it. And we got George Mandrin and all kinds of people, Brad, Chandler, all kinds of great people here today. So we're watching the chat. We'll do our best to answer your questions as we go. And we are here today to talk about Casiotone. Now, Casiotone, you guys might be familiar with it, of course. It's the brand that launched Casio into the music business back in 1980 with that product right there, the CT-201. And of course, it evolved over the years and unfortunately went away until we brought Casiotone back just over a year and a half ago with some new Casiotone models. And, you know, what was particularly unique about these new models was the form factor. This has never really been done, you know, we sort of reimagined what a portable keyboard could be by bringing it in this remarkable new size, modern look. Form factor is amazing. But these products were aimed at the beginner market. And but what we have here to show you today is something completely different. So we're definitely addressing your requests and, you know, feedback from around the world to bring you some new, more powerful Casiotone keyboards, and this first one in particular packs a punch. So I can't really say it any better than whether Rich put it in this video. So we're going to play a quick tour of the product, and then we're going to get back to live demos and Q&A from you. So here is a quick look at the Casiotone CTS-1 brought to you by Rich Formidoni.
Hi, I'm Rich Formidoni from Casio. Way back in 1980, Casio changed the world. The original Casiotone CT-201 was revolutionary. It had full-size keys, it had 29 sounds, and you could play 8 notes at once, which was a huge deal at the time. Most importantly, anyone could afford it. It gave everyone the chance to make music in new ways, at any skill level, and on any budget. This is the Casiotone CTS-1, its spiritual successor. It's a portable, affordable, go-anywhere piano with expert-level sounds at an entry-level price. Choose your favorite color to match your home, your style, or your life in general. Turn it on, and you'll instantly be playing a 9-foot German concert grand, one of the world's most respected pianos. There are 61 tones powered by our AIX sound source. It delivers the sound quality you'd expect from an instrument costing much more. Advanced tones give you layers and articulations that react to the way that you play. Vintage tones are the sounds of timeless keyboards reborn. There are even a couple of classic Casio sounds. The CTS-1 is focused on what's most important to you. It has 61 full-size touch-responsive keys and easy, intuitive controls. No menus, no screen, just you and your music. It weighs under 10 pounds, and when you're not using the included AC adapter, you can take it to go with 6 AA batteries. Its bass-ported speaker system brings any room to life. And if you press the surround button, the speakers place you right in the middle of your music. Or you can just connect your favorite headphones and have it all to yourself. You can use the optional Bluetooth audio and MIDI adapter to send and receive MIDI wirelessly or to use the CTS-1 as a Bluetooth speaker. You can also use the built-in audio input to play along with music from your favorite device. You can even cancel out the vocals and melody so you can carve out a space for yourself in your favorite songs. The category and variation buttons let you explore sounds quickly. Use tone memory to instantly store and recall your favorite tones whenever you need them. The metronome and the easy one-button recorder help you practice and capture your ideas. The class-compliant USB port connects to any Mac, PC, iOS, or Android device with no drivers or installation needed. You can even attach a strap, and wherever you are becomes center stage. Download our free Cordana Play app to learn to play your favorite songs using piano roll, notation, or both. Whether you're just starting out, or if you're a seasoned pro, or anywhere in between, the CTS-1 was created for you. It's a portable piano for practicing or performing, or just about anything else, anytime, anywhere. Once again, I'm Rich Formidoni. Thank you for watching.
All right, well, thank you everybody for joining us today. And that was just a quick overview of the CTS-1. Of course, we have 2 other products we're going to talk about in this broadcast as well. So we are watching the live chat from Facebook and YouTube. Appreciate everybody's participation today. So yes, you can use the CTS-1 as a keytar, and that's just one of the most amazing great things about these products. There's so much fun stuff. Now, I do have a CTS-1 here in front of me, and Rich has got some of the other products with him. And like I said, we're going to do our best to give you a tour of the product and answer your questions along the way. So I have here today, as you can see, a CTS-1. And the video mentioned 61 different tones. I'm going to show you how this works and take you through the different categories of sounds it has to offer. Of course, the piano. Super dynamic. This is the sound of a 9-foot concert grand. It's incredibly dynamic from top to bottom. But there's many other variations to this piano sound is available as well. You can find sounds with bass splits. So there's bass split available for you as well. There's brighter pianos, there's darker pianos. One of my favorites in here is this this real nice bright one here. Can't play much more of the song because YouTube copyright will get in the way, but you get the idea. Great for rock and roll, great for all kinds of different things. As far as piano sounds, the CTS-1 has you covered. There's also the ability to layer sounds, which we'll talk about as we go along. So you can combine any 2 sounds from the Casiotone. You can also store them here in the tone memory. So real quick, taking a look at the front panel, I'll go to this close-up view. You have 7 categories of tones available: pianos, electric pianos, organs, keyboards, synths, and others, and then 5 different banks to choose from. So the last of those is tone memory. Now, if you did the math, that's 35 tones that you can directly access from the front panel, but there are 61 different tones on the CTS-1. So you can actually access them by using a combination, I go back to this view, of the tone variation button and keys on the keyboard. Okay, and but you can take any favorites that you like or any combinations that you create and store them in the tone memory so you can quickly get to them. So it's fast, it's easy, it's really, really amazing. Now, all of the tones on the CTS-1 are super inspiring, and there's a lot of new content that's never been in any Casio content before, or Casio product before. But let's just go through some of the other categories and check some of the things out. So first of all, electric pianos. Really, really outstanding, beautiful, dynamic electric pianos that you can find here. But there's also some new things in the vintage category. So electric grand pianos are in here as well. And the UPS guy is at my door as usual at this time every time we go live. So in this particular tone memory category, I actually layered that electric grand with another warm acoustic grand that was in here just to give us a nice warm sound. So again, there's plenty of polyphony, and again, you can store your favorite combinations in tone memory. How am I doing so far, Rich? I'm ignoring the chat.
Sounding great. We're getting lots of great comments. One from Andrea: does this Casio have drums and rhythms? This particular one does not have built-in rhythms, but drums, it's an interesting question. Stay tuned for more about drums and rhythms.
Yeah, great question. So yeah, we are watching the chat. We'll do our best to address these questions about the rest of the sound. So here's a comment. People have been raging about the CZ trumpet. Well, let's see. This one? It's awesome. It's there. It's touch sensitive, which if you had a CZ-101 back in the day, that was not touch sensitive. So, but of course the upper CZ models did have touch sensitivity. So yeah, there's some great vintage sounds. Again, some classic Casio as well as other classic instrument sounds that you'll find in the CTS-1. So I was back in the electric piano category. Electric piano 2, that covers more of your what we call 60s EPs, otherwise known as Wurlitzers. You'll find plenty of those in here with and without effects. So I saw Gary was just asking what gets stored in tone memory. All right, so tone memory, again, there's 35 tones that you can directly access from the front panel, but there's 61 total tones. So you can store your favorites in the tone memory section. You can also store your layers, and that includes the balance of those. So you can, for example, do piano and strings and determine the balance of the strings versus the piano, and store that in tone memory. So there's also other things like the effect settings and other things that you can address as well. So hopefully addressing that question. All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tone memory is a really useful thing, just because those front panel buttons, once you have tone memory selected, those buttons that are right in front of you just become shortcuts to every sound that you need. It's like registrations on our other instruments. So if you're playing a show with it, or if you just know what your favorite sounds are, they just become convenient shortcuts.
So 2 questions I want to quickly address from the live chat. First of all, what's the price? And that's, you know, we laugh because we can't believe it ourselves. The CTS-1, and again, we're only partially through this demo, but CTS-1 will be available in the United States at music stores for $199. So absolutely amazing price. Check your local retailers. If you're in another part of the world, pricing might be different. And then the other question, this is the one thing that is extremely difficult to convey over a live stream, is how loud is it? So
yeah, we have the number of watts for you. It's 2.5 watts per side, but How loud is it? That's an entirely different spec. And how clear is it and how good does it sound? Mike and I both about lost our minds when we fired up the CTS-1 for the first time, and these other models as well. It's impossible for us to convey to you how good these speakers sound in a portable keyboard this small. Nothing this small should sound this good. It's really amazing. And all we can do is tell you about it because we can't convey it to you over video, but
Yeah.
you've got to hear it.
The speaker system is truly amazing, and that's just, on the list of so many things that makes the CTS-1 so appealing, because at your fingertips it's simple, and that simplicity of just being able to press a button and choose a phenomenal sound makes it so inspiring. And then when you get the this combination of sounds and speaker system, it's just so fun and incredible to play. So back to some of the sounds. I think that's what a lot of you were here, was to hear some things you haven't heard yet in the other videos that we've released today. So and there is a all playing no talking video that we debuted about 45 minutes ago, so check that one out if you haven't seen it yet. But I'm going to go through, we've got one here live, some of the other categories. So in the organ category, some new content again. So you'll find like classic transistor organs in here as well. So like Vox and Farfisa organs, if you're playing any Doors or Beach Boys or anything from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. There's even some bands that are using those sounds again today. You will find those in here. The organ category also has traditional tone wheel organ sounds as well as pipe organs. So everything you need is here. When you get into the keyboard category, that's where you're going to find a little bit of everything. First of all, there's harpsichords, complete with all that attention to detail. With the key off, but you're also going to find some goodies with things like the clavinets. So really, really outstanding clavinet. There's also a version of that without the wah-wah available for you here as well. The synth category, there's one that I have to play. And I'll do my best not to play the sound that certainly it's inspired by, but I think this is a great wink and nod to all of us keyboard players around the world. So this amazing sawtooth patch. Really amazing. Again, you could layer that with piano and do some plenty of cover songs with that. Really, really incredible. A few other gems here in this category. There's string machines. So classic string machines as well. Just on and on. There's gems in here all over the place. Tape flutes. Really, really outstanding. I mean, as a keyboard player, pick a category. You're just going to have so much fun with all the sounds on here. So appreciate the comments. So impressed. I love this. So impressed with such a great sounding, affordable instrument. And that's exactly it. And couldn't say it better myself. Appreciate that. Yes, Rich.
Just one question coming in from Gregory. Is the surround effect the same as found in the PXS 3000? Very, very similar to the surround effect that you hear in the PXS 1000 and 3000. The speakers just create a 360-degree field around you. It's an uncanny thing and very cool if you're seated or standing right in front of the keyboard.
Yeah, that's one effect that we can't demonstrate online because it doesn't affect the way the output, just the speakers function. So it's something you have to experience like the rest of the instrument firsthand. So yeah, pretty slick. So some other categories. There's lots of CZ, VZ, FZ sounds in here as well. That's a brass sound from the VZ series. This is the one that I was looking for, the one called Sea God. This was a preset as well. It's just some huge, I know, exactly. I appreciate the visual because I didn't have the camera switched to that overhead view, so thank you.
I'd take advantage.
Thank you. That's just a really cool one. Just super cool sound. So I think some of you heard in Rich's video earlier, there's VL tone sounds in here as well. Loads of fun with those. Let's see if I can pull that one up. So you can actually play the drum sounds on the keys and make your own rhythms, but all of the patterns that you remember, those are all in here on different keys as well. So, oops. So you can press a different key and get those dialed in. And then over at the top, you have the classic VL tone violin. Oops. So you can play play the demo song if you want to, live and in person. So anyway, VL tone CZ series. Rich, putting you on the spot. Other favorites of yours?
Wow. Well, I'm a big fan of most of the ones you've already played. The electric pianos are stunning. We haven't heard a good whirly yet, I don't think.
I think I did a little bit of like the Supertramp thing just a minute ago. So there's a couple different ones in here, one with and without the sort of amp sim. So So that's one of them. There's one also in the vintage category. Slightly different vibe between the two of those. There's also, by the way, some other like ballad dyno types of electric pianos in there too. So you could again layer those with other sounds to create a unique vibe. So lots of different things to choose from. Da da da. Yep, Chandler. Chandler knows the da 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 song, as all of us remember.
Hey, Chandler.
Awesome.
You know, I played what has recently been called a Mario Galaxy thing on the strings. But is there another string sound that you like on the S1?
Okay, so, oops, I got the. Hang on. So let me pull the strings up here real quick. So the strings are super dynamic. So the real cool thing is and then if I were to switch, I'd play. You know, they really respond to the way you play. It's really outstanding. So there's two different string patches. There's this string ensemble sound. There's also the string ensemble in the vintage category, which we heard a little bit of. There's also there's a brass falls. Let me see if I can find that one real quick. So this is a cool one based on the way you play the keyboard. So you play the keyboard a little bit harder, you're going to introduce the velocity fall sound that you hear for those brass articulations. So you know, some really outstanding choices here on the CZ. On the CT, I should say. There's also acoustic guitar tones in here as well. And this is a pretty cool one where this is in the advanced category where Casio is doing some really cool stuff. If you play things polyphonically, you'll get a pad sound behind it. But you can still sustain that, and your other melody notes don't have the pad. So it's very slick. You'll find a couple different sounds that do this, even in the piano category. I'll move down an octave. So, oops, too far. So if I play the keyboard, play block chords, we get that pad, but we can still play melodically over the top. It's just super cool, great for, again, melody lines like that, allowing you to emphasize that piano part or the guitar part while having something else there in the background. So pretty slick. So CTS-1, again, 61 tones, under 10 pounds. You can put batteries in it. Of course, it comes with the power supply in the box. It also has wireless Bluetooth as an option. So Rich, you covered this guy in the video. This is a really slick option. So you can plug it into the CTS-1 or the other models we're going to talk about and do a few different things. So you've used it. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I used it with an Android phone. So I connected it to the keyboard, loaded up a bunch of different software synths just to see what kind of latency there was, to see how it responded. First off, there was no setup. I just went into a software synth and it saw the Bluetooth adapter right away, selected it, played, and it just plain worked. There was nothing to do. So latency was next to nothing. It was extremely playable, very comfortable, and it seemed universally compatible with every synth that I threw at it. So far so good. And using it as a Bluetooth speaker is incredible. I mean, don't get us started again harping about how good these speakers are, but if you want to hear music on your phone through like the quality of a high-end soundbar or something like that, your CTS-1 speakers will be more than up to the task.
Yeah. And of course, the range of Bluetooth has a lot to do with your personal environment, all the electronics you might have around you. But I was able to get almost 45 feet through a couple different walls here in my house, playing an iPhone app and using the CTS-1 with this adapter to control it. So the Bluetooth adapter will work with not only this model, but the other two models we're going to talk about in a moment. It's a $79 option for these models. So go ahead, Rich. I was about to pull up one of the questions or comments I saw in here.
I was too. I see I could use something for beach, camping, or porch that sounds good and is portable. This might be it. I don't know if that's the same one you were looking at, but yeah, this keyboard is priced like a beginner's instrument, but it is a secret handshake to keyboard players. This is because of the quality of sounds and the sampling, just the attention to detail that went into the sounds that are in here. This is something that a seasoned keyboard player will truly appreciate having as a portable, easy, no fuss kind of option. And that's definitely how we are appreciating it. And
absolutely.
And we know you will too.
Yeah. So I think, there's a couple questions also in relation to other keyboards like the CTX line and how this is different. So, obviously physically, everything we've talked about, the size factor, the speaker system, the keyboard action, all of those things are different than the CTX line. This also has new content that's never been in any Casio keyboard before. A lot of the sounds we've tried to demo here today. So great collection of new content. But we do have a model we're going to talk about in a few minutes that is a little bit more like a CTX in terms of feature set. We'll get to that in just a few minutes. So I'm taking one last look at the chat. Claudia's asking, can you use it to make beats? So actually, the model we're going to talk about in a couple minutes, yes, you can. But the CTS-1 actually doesn't. This question came up earlier about drums. So there are 61 preset keyboard tones in the product, but there are actually drum sounds which you can access over MIDI for if you're using it with a DAW of your choice. So if you heard the song at the beginning of the video, that's the demo song in the instrument. So you'll hear the drum kits; those are in there. And Ruth was asking about connectivity for hooking up to a speaker. I'll just give you a quick look at the back panel here, Ruth. Let me just pull up this picture for you. So on the back panel, you've got micro USB port. So you can use that to connect to your Mac, your PC, your iPhone, your iPad. It's class compliant, plug it in, and it works. You'll also find the headphone out and an audio input, again, to utilize the amazing speaker system. Everything you're hearing, everything you've heard in our demo videos, everything's been recorded using the headphone out. So that's 1/8 inch stereo output. There's a stain pedal input, And then also, again, what we talked about earlier, that USB host port for the Bluetooth adapter. So that's a quick tour of the CTS-1. All right. So, Rich, should we move on to some new products, or is there any other things that we're missing here on this CTS-1?
I don't see why not. I think we have covered everything. If questions come up in the chat, we'll address them. But yeah, there's more to come.
All right. So, Rich, with that being said, you want me to put that slide up? Get you started?
Sure.
All right. So
yeah, let's take a quick look at the slide.
All right. Here we go. Maybe.
If not, I can just dive.
There we go.
There we go. All right. This is the CTS-400. So as Mike said, this is similar to our CTX and our other arranger style portable keyboards, where you have lots of sounds, lots of rhythms. This instrument has 600 sounds. I'll give you an example of the piano. That beautiful 9-foot concert grand again. As you move through, you know what? I'll go right to the overhead view here, give you a look at what I'm looking at. So this is the CTS-400. You can see it's got built-in speakers, beautiful design, with nice cloth covering, nice grippy surface here, and a really streamlined, simple control panel. In fact, I'll zoom in a little bit on that. You can see there's a bright backlit display. Give you a little extra light. All right, but what we're looking at here is not a huge interface with a number pad and a bunch of writing that shows you what sounds and rhythms are on board. This is sleek and approachable and easy to use, and most importantly, fun. So there's a power button and 10 buttons, and then a couple of extra buttons right under the screen that are really important, and I'll talk about them in a second. So as we go through sounds, we can use this jog wheel, which feels really, really good. And then I see these buttons have changed labels. So category minus, category plus. So now I'm looking at my electric piano sounds. Next category is going to be organ. And it goes on and on. So for someone who asked, can it make beats? Yes, it certainly can. So if I go through these different kits, there's all kinds of stuff here from vintage drum machines. So your 808, 909 stuff is in there. All the classic stuff is there. And there's a 6-track recorder built in. So you can use the built-in rhythms or create your own beats and record bass lines and all kinds of other sounds on top of that. So we've been through a couple of the tones. I just wanted to show you a little bit about the rhythms. So there's tons of them in here, 200. And we'll give you an example. Oops, bear with me. What would I be doing if I wasn't playing a Bruno Mars demo on one of our portable keyboards? So let's go with a totally different era. So that's a split that I made, or a layer rather, with an organ and a square wave. You can have 2 sounds on the top and 1 sound in the bottom. So you can create splits and layers, and then you can save them as registrations, as I've done right here. So these 5 buttons beneath the display are now acting as registration buttons. There's a lot of great synth sounds in here as well. There's also an auto harmonizer and an arpeggiator, and the arpeggiator can get you into lots of fun places. So, as I'm sure you could hear, that wasn't just creating an arpeggio pattern, it was modifying the filter. And as I hit the sustain pedal, it sustained the notes as well. So you can get a lot of expression going from this instrument. But take a look at these buttons. After I pushed rhythm, these buttons are now showing.
Sorry, Richard. What I was going to try and do is actually, because I've got a slightly
You've got a better
overhead view of the front. But
Please do.
Here we go. So yeah,
so
go ahead. You talk. I'll drive.
Okay. We're looking at the rhythm display right now. So you can see these are the controls that we would normally have dedicated buttons for: intro, variation, fill in, all that good stuff. But if we go to tone, we get different things. Split and layer are right there. We can adjust the touch response right from there. There's panel sustain and the ARP, so you can turn on and off the arpeggiator. And there's other views as well. For song mode, you get some different controls. But the real fun is, yeah, there you go. You can turn the parts on and off. The real fun is in the home display. So once you push the home button, you get 5 customizable controls. So right out of the box, you'll see metronome, touch response, my setup, which is a quick and easy one-touch shortcut to your favorite sound, and demo. You can customize those to do whatever you want. For example, you could have a shortcut to layer balance, to changing the...
Sorry, I brought you up on the screen. So yeah, you can change layer balance was in fact a great requested feature. So the CTS-400 does allow you to adjust layers, and as Rich was suggesting, you can actually assign that feature or split point or whatever to these buttons here on the home screen. So you can completely customize it, which again just makes this sleek interface even better.
Yeah, I'm just going through some of the settings here. You can control pedal settings, adjust the balance, adjust the effects, change the scale that you're working with, turn Bluetooth on and off when you're using the optional WUBT10 adapter. There's 78 different choices for things that you can put on that screen. But the end result of this is the interface is super clean and it does exactly what you want. So if you always spend time going through a menu looking for one function that you use all the time, just put it on the home screen and you're good to go. So it's a really ingenious way to reorganize the controls, and this beautiful screen really makes it a lot easier to use than just about any other portable we've made.
Yeah, I mean Casio is completely rethought the what a portable keyboard should look like and sound like. And then of course that started with the CTX with the new AIX sound source, and now the new design of the Casiotone models with this sleek interface, limited controls, everything you need in such a compact portable footprint. It's really amazing. So taking a quick look at the chat, yeah, Chandler's helping us out with some of the specs in here as far as playing back MIDI files. You can handle that with the USB port on the back. You can put your favorite MIDI files on there for playing along with. You can also again use that USB host port for the Bluetooth adapter, which is compatible with these models. So Robert was asking, are the keys the same as the CTS-1? Yeah, you'll find that the key action, the size, the speaker system is the same on all 3 of these models, which I guess brings me to the next thing, which is the product I have here. It's actually a variant on the CTS-400 that we were just talking about. This is a model called the LKS-450. And as the name implies, the big difference here is that the keys light up. So very slick. Of course, Casio pioneered light-up keyboards for the purpose of education decades ago, and these have continued to evolve, and the LKS-450 makes this easier than ever. But this is also a performance keyboard, and it's a keyboard that you can wear as a keytar, as Rich demonstrated in that video earlier. So put some batteries on it, put a strap on, and walk out on stage with a light-up keyboard. What a great way to entertain the audience, show them what you're doing firsthand. So really awesome. So LKS450, again, it has the lesson mode, so you can choose what part you want to learn. You can choose your tempo, and it's this whole step-up lesson system that will guide you through learning songs. Of course, it will also work with, and as all the models will, with Casio's Cordana Play app, so iOS or Android app that you can use to learn to play music. So if you're a beginner, that Cordana app is out there for you. So people are asking questions about prices. So let's just quickly review. And these are U.S. prices. So some of you around the world are in different places, but CTS-1 $199. That's street price. Some of your dealers might have packages or other things they're selling with it. So CTS 400 $229 and CTS or LKS 450 at $279. So and yes, Gabriel mentioned, the LKS is a great option for parents, and with autistic children, it's a great learning tool. It's really
Absolutely.
fantastic. So I appreciate that comment. And they're really fun. I mean, I've seen one of my favorite artists in the world. We were talking about this earlier. I was playing Peter Gabriel stuff earlier. He has a Casio LK keyboard hanging from the ceiling in his studio that he uses to monitor all the tracks that are being played back on his computer. So, I think you could certainly use LKS 450 this way, but I think it will certainly suit you playing it as well as not just a display device. Dr. Orhard was asking.
You'd be missing a lot.
I know. Asking, can you play back MP3 files on USB? No, there's no audio playback on these models, just MIDI file playback from USB. And again, that USB port could also be used for our Bluetooth audio adapter. So I think it's probably easier for most of us. We have our MP3s on our phone. With that Bluetooth adapter, you can connect that to the keyboard and Bluetooth your MP3s right in there. There's also an 1/8" audio input on the keyboard. So, and Rob, I just addressed the prices a minute ago. So hopefully that answered that. And again, lots of questions here. Can we see the back panel, see what it looks like? We did address that a few minutes ago. So guys, you can watch the replay. You can see the answers to some of those questions. I am going to flip this guy upside down though, and just show you a couple things real quick because here we go, besides my messy floor. So here is if my camera will focus, here we go. You've got the battery port here. You can put 6 AA's, and then there's a grip here on the back. Because of the way the base porting system is work, we didn't do the full handle on these models, but you got a great grip, which makes this really super portable. And then also over here on the edge, you've got those strap pins, so you can wear the CTS models, whether it's the CTS-1 or an LK model like I have here. You can use it as a keyboard, keytar, truly portable solution. All right.
One quick thing to mention: when you go back and look at the slide where we showed the back of the CTS-1, just one thing is different about the LKS 450. It also has a microphone input. Other than that, the connections are the same for all three models.
Correct. All right, guys. Well, we're about to wrap things up. If you missed any part of this broadcast, we released actually 3 different videos today, plus this live Q&A section, and we will be doing more of these as things progress over the next month. The CTS-1 you're going to see in stores mid to late May, so just over a month away. The CTS-400 and LKS-450 you're going to see those in stores in June. So awesome. So yeah, the CTS-1, someone commenting, is $190. The others are a little bit more. Again, you got displays, more sounds, more capabilities on some of those other models. But the CTS-1, wow, I can't say enough about this product. Rich, you and I have had all 3 for months, and in fact, we both have a room full of Casio products and pianos. But the CTS-1 just hits a sweet spot for us.
It stands out. It really does. It hits a sweet spot for us because we are keyboard players and we've played a ton of different keyboards in our time, and we know what sounds need to sound really good, and the CTS-1 nails some really important ones that just don't exist on anything else that we make. And it's this compact little portable keyboard. It's astonishing how good it sounds for the price, for its size. It's for a keyboard player, it's pretty much a must-have.
All right, so a couple last questions we'll address real fast here. Masterface is asking about 76 key keyboards. You know, I wish I could comment about future product development, but we can't. We certainly have some of that tech in 88 note products, like the PXS 3000 as an example, has all that stuff and more. Another question, how many rhythms? There are 200 rhythms in the CTS 400 and LKS 450. And let's see, is there gig bag? We do have gig bags coming. It'll be close to summertime this year, so hang on for more information about that. So anyway, guys, we really appreciate your time today in this live webinar. Really appreciate it. If you like the content here, please do like and subscribe. We're going to be doing a lot more content on these products in the coming weeks and months. So we really appreciate you coming here. Give us a thumbs up, ring the bell, subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you soon on our next video. For now, my name is Mike Martin.
I'm Rich Formidoni.
Thanks everybody for watching. Take care.